Hey Reservoir Dogs, I have a new episode of The Old 52. Now, it is obviously inspired by DC's New 52, where I'm taking old back issues of old defunct titles and talking about their first issues. So maybe you can have a jumping on point for old stuff. Stuff that I think is really good, or at least very interesting, that you may find interesting. And it is also brought to you by my own comic book. Issue 4 is out now. It's available on Etsy.com. I can show you the link right here. It's at the bottom below this video. And if you don't do the whole paying on the internet thing, you can still send a check or money order to my P.O. Box if you're interested. But check out all this. Issue 4 is out. It's written by me and drawn by J.C. Grande, and it's 25 pages of awesome black and white action, plus 2 backup stories. $2.99. Now, what am I going to talk about now? Now, by the way, just a programming note. This is Wednesday, and I'm going to be doing these episodes on Wednesdays now, and I am fully back with the show. So, sorry I was a month late. Anyway, I am talking about today. This week is, I believe this is episode 12. And, let's see, it is Hitman #1 by Garth Ennis and John McCrae. This is DC's sort of, kind of, you know, mature reader superhero book. It sort of took place kind of in the dark corners of the DC superhero universe. And the only real decent thing that came out of DC's kind of lame annual crossover, Bloodlines, which involved these monsters that were loose on the Earth, and they fed off the spine fluid, pineal fluid of humans, and it usually killed them, but sometimes their saliva from the bite gave the victim superpowers. So you're either dead or have superpowers, and the superpowers were always different. And that started a whole bunch of different superhero characters that DC was, you know, hoping to launch with. The only one that really got any ground was Hitman. And Hitman's actually not a superhero name. It's just his profession. It's Tommy Monahan. And the way Garth Ennis feels like you should start a series is, why start a series like A Shot in the Face when you can start a series with a shot in the face? And Tommy is, you know, freelance hitman. He's pretty good, and the bite from the monsters gave him 2 superpowers: X-ray vision and the ability to read minds. And he uses them here and there, you know, kind of to help out, but mainly he's kind of a, you know, shooting guy, really. He just uses them for help. The first action sequence involves a whole bunch of thugs hired to try and kill him, including this group of no-name supervillains that, you know, he just shoots. This is the first of kind of where we see Garth Ennis's contempt for superheroes and supervillains, but the humor is just fantastic. I mean, Tommy is quick-witted and very funny. You get to see him hang out at his favorite bar in Noonan's with his friends, and they have wonderful little discussions here. Let's see, one of the guys, Pat, makes a joke. Well, actually, he's not. Because this is not a Vertigo book, he can't really say the joke, but he goes, "Hey guys, you ever hear about the joke about Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Invisible Man?" And they have heard the joke, which is actually kind of funny that that joke exists in the DC universe. Have you heard the joke? Oh, it's quite funny. It's a joke I heard a few times in the 90s, and then kind of just disappeared. The joke goes off like this. Correct me if I'm wrong here or there on a detail. The joke is, Superman is flying over the ocean, and he passes by a beach, and he sees Wonder Woman laying on the beach, naked and writhing and round and acting all horny, so he just can't help it. So he decides to just swoop in really fast and fuck her and take off. And Wonder Woman sits up really quick, wondering, what the hell was that? And the Invisible Man says, I don't know, but somebody fucked me in the ass. Now, that joke exists among these guys, so that kind of makes me laugh. Anyway, meanwhile in hell, I mean, it just like, oh, we got all these, you know, gangster guys, you know, it's fairly funny and realistic, and then we shoot right to hell, where these torn apart beasties decide that they need a new warrior in hell. So they send this crazy creature that was like once 6 Nazis, now he's in hell and he's all merged and he has 6 arms and guns and he's, you know, kind of, well, fucking disturbing looking. Well, anyway, cut to our regular action, and Tommy, you know, wants to try and get a date, and he's trying to mix it up with his usual kind of action. Before he goes on his date, he gets hired by, you know, his usual connection to kill the Joker, and hands him a picture and goes, hey, you know, somebody who has a lot of money lost a family member to him, and, you know, wants the Joker dead. You have to break into Arkham to do it, and it's going to be worth a lot of money to you. Hence the $1 million hit. What's funny is, there's this great scene. He asks, do you want to keep the picture? And Tommy says, yeah, I may forget what he looks like. Thanks. Well, after the date goes, you know, fairly well, but he uses his mind-reading power to tell him that, you know, hey, I'm not going to get a chance at having sex with her tonight. I better just be cool tonight. So this is actually a pretty useful power in all sorts of places in his life. And when he turns the corner, he goes, oh shit, it's Batman. And what's funny is Tommy isn't afraid of Batman. He also shares Innes's contempt for Batman. He thinks he respects him as someone dangerous, but he thinks he's a lunatic dressed up like Dracula. And unfortunately, he had like a little too much to drink, a little too much like seafood, I think it is, curry, I think it is. So he vomits on Batman. We get a comic where someone vomits on Batman. Then, of course, before he gets a chance to take another shot at him, he's surrounded by cops. This is the first issue. This is a lot of fun. This is the first, I believe this is a 4 or 5 issue story arc that starts this off. Wow, what a great book. I love this series a lot. There were some parts here and there throughout the series that I felt like maybe kind of got away from the premise of the book, and there were some things that were just a little too weird, even for me in the DC universe, but otherwise it was just a fantastic read. Some of these issues, some of these storylines were just, you never know what you were going to get when you picked up an issue of this. I highly recommend finding any of this. Like, find these back issues. They're not that expensive, or some of the trades. Highly recommend it. Hitman #1. Push the button, Lindsay.